Hi, everybody. I just want to let you know I am not motivated today. I'm not fired up. The last couple of weeks have been rough physically, mentally, logistically, but that's the reason I wanted, no, not wanted. Want is not the right word. I needed to make this video. And here's the thing is if your health depends on everything going right, you don't have a plan. And as guys, we don't have the luxury of not having a plan. So, over the last 2 weeks, I've been dealing with a messed up left ankle that limited my training. Now, as a lot of you guys know, I went back to Orange Theory. Well, one of the first weeks I went back to Orange Theory, I told myself I wasn't going to run anymore, and I didn't. But heavy incline walking on a treadmill, I sprained my ankle, my left ankle. And that has limited my training over the last 2 weeks, any more than anything I wanted. Okay. And as you can see here, I'm recording on a little bit differently. I'm in my studio, which also doubles as my wine and whiskey tasting room. And it's a mess back here. And one of the reasons it's a mess is over the last week, I've had flooding issues at the house. And it's one of those stressors that eats at your mental bandwidth, even when you're not actively trying to deal with it. And we have another atmospheric river coming in here to the Pacific Northwest this week. So my stress level is way back up. It might get a flood again. On top of that, even though I'm a senior driver at the company that I work for, they are attempting to make sure that younger drivers are getting their hours because freight is way down. So luckily, I was home the day, I was forced to be home the day that the flooding occurred. Um, Again, stress upon added stress. And then on top of that, I got a DEXA scan result yesterday. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to see. And it's confusing because it varied differently from an in body scan that I had. So, none of those things really are unique. What matters though is how you, a guy, or me as a guy, how we respond when life starts stacking that that friction, those obstacles against you. And that is what we're going to discuss today. See, here's the thing. Guys, we don't have the luxury of being emotional. And motivation is primarily motivational. All emotions are the first thing that go to hell when stress shows up, right? If your motivation is your fuel, discipline is the engine, okay? And you have to be able to go ahead and run that engine despite the crap fuel that you're putting in, that the motivation is, you know, if the motivation's not there, right? As guys, we don't have the luxury of waiting until life feels calm. That's not in our DNA, that's not in our genetics, that's not in our culture. So, let's go ahead. Basically, when motivation is gone, you don't ask, what's the best that I can do? Ask yourself, what's the minimum that you can do that keeps you in the fight? Okay. So for me, over the last 2 weeks, you know, when it comes to my fuel, I still prioritize protein with a mix of healthy fats, right? I went to my trainer and I told him, hey, I because of what happened on my deload week, right? Or the week after my deload week, where I hit those three PRs on my back squat, my bench, and my deadlift. I couldn't have a deload week. My doctor told me, hey, you've got a high ankle sprain. You are to do no incline walking. You are to do no back squats. You are to do no exercises that are going to put stress on your ankle. So my trainer, Kevin at Alpha Barbell, he went ahead and redid my entire last week, where I did a lot of accessory work for my upper body strength, overhead presses, and some work with my lower back. Okay. I was still lifting something, even though my ankle didn't allow me to do the heavy compound lifts. I allowed me to train around it. One thing that I did try to do is I also tried to make sure I went to bed on time. All that stress, even though if I laid in bed for an extra hour, I was in bed trying to get some sleep. And the surprising thing that I did consistently over the last 2 weeks to help keep me going in the right direction, and it's something that I've just started to do, and I picked up doing, especially with the advent of ChatGPT, is I've started to journal. I started journaling back in October, and I will tell you that allowing myself to journal, emotion without the emotions, basically what I do is I set up a prompt in ChatGPT, and at the end of every day, I just spill out what happened during the day, how I was feeling. And I've set up several prompts in there that help me, based on my values. It helped me to recalibrate what I needed to do for the last 2 weeks. And that journaling really has helped keep me on the straight and narrow. So I mentioned the DEXA scan, and the DEXA scan basically, it didn't tell me I failed. It tells what the DEXA scan does. It tells me where I'm at right now. It's not an indictment of my ketogenic plan. It's not an indictment on anything. It's a diagnostic. Okay. And here's the thing, and this is something as a guy, you cannot be afraid to avoid measurements. So I'll link to the video on things that I believe you absolutely have to do if you're starting out. It doesn't matter if it's a ketogenic or a carnivore or any sort of fitness and weight loss lifestyle change. You need to do these things. And because here's the thing is, if you avoid measurements because you're afraid of what it'll say, you've already surrendered control over what you can and cannot accomplish. Okay, you got to think of it as no numbers, no percentages. It's just principle. This is why you have to do it. Now, bringing this home, as a guy, men don't get an infinite emotional recovery time. Our families, our jobs, our bodies, everybody expects us to function, and it doesn't really matter what your opinion is. Okay. People rely on you. Your kids rely on you. Your wife relies on you. The company that hired you relies on you to be able to do your job. And strength isn't pretending, that things don't hurt. Strength is staying consistent when they do. Okay, when things do hurt, you're able to get through these things. Men should really think about viewing things a little bit more stoically. Basically the traditional framework has been there over thousands of years, and it's there for a reason. So, anyways, if today is too hard for you, don't quit. Tomorrow could be hard. Tomorrow could be easy. Tomorrow could be even harder than it was today. But you can't quit. It doesn't do you any good to quit, right? just try to do the one or two things that keep you moving forward. For me, it's training. It's making sure that I get some sort of exercise or training in, and I work around what's been going on around me, right? Um, Comment, what I want you guys to do is comment down below in the comment section. What's the one non negotiable thing that you're going to do that's keeping you in the game today? Okay. What is it? Is it keeping an appointment with your wife? Is it making sure that you've got enough free time with your kids? Let people down in the comment section know what your one thing is. Because here's the thing: is that as guys, we need to come together. As much as we love our family and our wives and our kids, a lot of times they're not emotionally, physically capable of helping us out, but other guys are, and that's why we need each other basically as a community. So, if this video helped you at all, go ahead, show YouTube a little bit of love, like this video, comment down below. Like I said, put down the one non-negotiable that you're keeping up with today, and if you know somebody that is struggling with emotional and just things are tough in their life, if you think this video would help them out, please go ahead and share it with them. So remember, gentlemen, there is no downside to becoming physically stronger, metabolically healthy, or spiritually fortified. And God throws things in your path to make you stronger. And I believe everything that has happened to me over the last couple of weeks I've been able to get through it because I am physically stronger than I was last year. I'm more metabolically healthier than I was last year. And to be honest with you, I am a lot more spiritually more fortified this year than I was last year. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day. And remember, you're not alone. Enjoy yourself.